Welcome back to Class and Grass Podcast, Season 2, Episode 34.
Wonderful. It was
Yes.
much quicker than last time.
Yes.
Still a few giggles, but much
Yeah.
quicker. I must say I need a haircut really badly. If anyone watching on YouTube can see my hair right now, I mean it's kind of got hat head, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like the top extends
It's very straight now.
Well, yeah, the hat head makes it straight.
Yeah.
I mean, usually I'm full throwing it, you know,
Mhm.
up on the head, but yeah, now I'm just wearing the Manchester City hat, not because I'm plastic or a Manchester City fan, but you know,
I feel like you were before.
that may be why I have the Manchester City hat, but no need to go in depth about
Yeah,
that.
your plastic days.
My plastic days. You know, stop polluting the waters with plastic. You know, start supporting grassroots. And yeah, but the hat is quite comfy, so yeah,
Well,
we move
Brighton actually beat Man City.
in a wonderful game, absolutely wonderful game.
Dan Burn.
Basuma was buzzing afterwards, doing his little dancey dance.
I saw that.
Oh, it was wonderful. Dan Burn looked like one of the most uncoordinated people I've ever seen step onto
He
a
missed
football
the
pitch.
easier chance and scored the rebound, which was a lot harder.
But the rebound was a 180 half, like he was on one leg, he was on his left leg, and he was at like a 45-degree angle with his legs. He was like he was about to sit down, and then he just swung his right leg at it,
Yeah.
and you know, we'll take it. It is how we win games.
Yes. So a couple episodes ago, we were like, all these title races are on. One of them has finished.
Yes.
That we can finally say Atletico did win the title. And Real Madrid, I think we were behind by 2 points or something.
Yeah.
So-
Something along those lines. It was Atletico's time to shine. If they won, they would win the title. They did win. Luis Suarez was crying. Luis Suarez was, after tears have been shed from his eyes, he went into locker rooms. Did you see the video that he recorded?
No,
It was kind of hilarious. 'Cause,
really.
I don't know, he's a bit. It seems like he's been around so long. And he's kind of just old, but he was so hype. He was like yelling into the camera, "Yes, come on!"
Yeah.
But you know, it's just funny because like usually you see the Basuma type ballers that are younger as the ones who sally and get it all over social media. But congrats to Louis and the squad
Yes.
for securing that trophy. On the topic of Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone has since coming to Atletico, where they finished 7th and 9th the 2 seasons prior, not had them finish outside the top 3 and won 2 league titles. And he came like
Wow.
2012 or 13 or so, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's a legend. He gets paid a lot, highest paid manager in the game, I think 46 mil a year, which is
Well, I mean, he's kind of deserved, to be honest.
yeah, you can say it's deserved. Do you think that they don't have the squad depth and firepower to be succeeding at the level that they are?
Oh, I see what you mean. Like, he's doing more than
Yeah.
just because his players are good. I mean, I think so. I think when you compare the squad to Barcelona's or
Well,
Real
yeah.
Madrid's, it's always worse, pretty much.
Yeah.
In maybe all but 1 or 2 positions. So I'd probably say yes, if he's finishing consistently in the top 4 or top 3, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's definitely deserved, and it's pretty much a lot of it should go to him. And also, actually, I read, so I forgot what year, but when David Villa was released by Barcelona for only like 5 mil and went to Atletico, they won the title that same year.
Yeah.
And then Barcelona did the same thing because Suarez was too old,
Mm-hmm.
they said, and he won the title. And he said, Barca didn't value me, and Atletico opened their doors for me, and I was be grateful to this club for trusting in me. And I mean, he wasn't that old. How old is he, do you think?
Let me fact check this really quick. He
still scored-
He seems old.
Yeah, he still scored 21 goals this season, which is very good. And
34.
34 is pretty old.
It is a bit older, but I mean,
Yeah,
he ages like fine wine. He's similar to Zlatan Ibrahimovic, or some other great strikers. Age is just a number and doesn't mean you can't bag and be an absolute bagsman in front of goal. Like dude clearly surpassed expectations for him, at least from what the Barca board was expecting.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's easier for older players to keep playing at a high level when they're strikers, because you don't
Yeah.
see a lot of center backs.
Well, no, center backs I think you get more. I don't think you see. Well, it's weird. Wingers and outside backs aren't really that old.
Yeah, when you really need the pace, it really goes away
Mm-hmm.
once you get older. So yeah, but I mean, Robin was playing for a while, right?
Robin's a whole nother story
Yeah.
that we don't need to go into because
Yeah.
he's just it's hard to explain. He's just magical in how like I don't know. He doesn't run across the field. He gracefully glides across the field, and
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
that's what he does.
Yeah.
And he gets into the other team's box. But yeah, I mean that's a whole nother story. But I mean Suarez, like you said, bagging 21 goals, great numbers for him. And another player who I mean it's hard to say he's old because he's the GOAT, but who
Yeah.
is up there in age? Lionel Messi finished with 30 goals. Was it exactly 30?
30 or more for the 9th time in his career, which is the most for any player in a top 5 league. And this kind of brings it back into the discussion of what he should do, because they just announced Aguero has agreed to join Barcelona next season.
Verbally.
Yeah. Like
It's like a verbal
rumors,
commitment.
pretty strong rumors.
Yeah.
Which would see Messi play with his, Argentina roommate,
Mhm.
teammate, very good friends, or does he move to PSG where Neymar signed a new contract and he could possibly start new,
Yeah.
just a new environment?
Yeah.
I think that's a very tough decision for him. But
Yeah,
I would go to
hard.
PSG.
Yeah, it's
personally.
a difficult one. I don't want to I don't want to have an opinion on it because I don't know what's right. It's just he's so Barcelona, he's so that club, but I don't know if I want to see him in a different shirt, but I want to see him play with Neymar. Like why not just bring Neymar back to Barca? Then everyone's happy, except
Well, yeah.
PSG.
Yeah, and they already signed him, so can't really do it now. But
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, yeah, he did sign that big 5-year
Yeah.
contract, which is a long time.
'cause he looks like disappointed every time.
Yeah, every time he steps on the field with them,
Yeah.
it looks like he's not having the same fun that he had.
No.
I mean, every time he stepped on the field with Barca, you were like, this guy is, he's got the dancey dance.
I saw a highlight from, 2015 or something with MSN, and they're all, the iconic picture where they're all celebrating together. I was just like, wow, took that for granted.
It is one of those times in football where you don't see that for another 10 to 20 years.
Yeah, you see like Neymar and Mbappe, or, that's really the only one that comes to mind, where it's like two actually huge stars, but you've never seen three like that all playing in their prime pretty much.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, we probably won't see that for a while.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that did take a while to get beaten, but was eventually beaten, was the Bundesliga scoring record, which, big ups to Robert Lewandowski. He just beat Gerd Muller's old record of 40 goals in a Bundesliga season. Lewandowski had 41 in, I think, 29 games. I don't know exactly, but I'm pretty sure that the stat I read was 29 games.
Yeah.
And yeah, shout out to A Money Swenson on my soccer team who watches the podcast occasionally and really wanted me to mention that. So yeah, I just had to fit that in there.
Friend of the podcast.
Yeah, friend of the podcast, as we say. But yeah, it's great that he was able to beat that record, and it's just it's so weird to me and astonishing how records always get beaten. But you know what I mean? It's just we're constantly getting better. There's no record that's never gonna be beaten or something. Maybe Messi's 93 goals in a calendar year, but then someone's gonna come along and beat that.
Yeah.
It's I don't even know how it works. It must be that we're just evolving and getting better in the sport of soccer. So
I mean, maybe for more goal scoring things, it's because they're playing more games.
yeah,
They have to be playing more games per year or per season than 40 years ago or something. There's no way
probably more competition. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's more games in the Bundesliga, but it's probably more competition.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like,
but like
a lot
then,
more
then you have to
tournaments.
think about like that actually makes it harder because Lewandowski has 41 in the Bundesliga, and he's probably fatigued from all the other competitions. But I don't know. It's just people keep getting better.
Yeah.
Like seriously, just mad that Lewandowski could win that. Considering that he just broke that record, I was thinking on the way home from my practice today. Do you think that he could possibly win the Ballon d'Or this year, like with that record now coming into play and him having such a good season last year and being robbed of it because they just kind of canceled the whole thing? Do you think they might just give it to him?
I think they have to. If
Poland make a run in the Euros, where
yes,
are they in it? I know. So we're doing a Euro draft with like me, Mac, podcast producer Sutton, and some other of our friends. Yeah.
official title.
Official title, podcast producer Sutton. But yeah, so we're doing a Euro draft where we made some tiers of teams and we're all like picking from each tier randomly, and that'll be super fun. But yeah, is
It's a pretty
Poland,
tough group,
Spain, Sweden, Slovakia,
and only 2 go
Poland.
through. So
I mean, if they can beat out Sweden and Slovakia, then they're good. If they make a good run in the Euros, like he'll definitely win the Ballon d'Or.
I think so. I feel like they like FIFA or UEFA like hates him though because
Yeah, I don't know why.
why would they cancel
Yeah.
it the season when they still actually played games?
Yeah, they played all the games.
And he won
they might
the Champions League, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what's going on there?
So and then he goes and breaks another goal scoring record. So I feel like if you're
right now, he is the best player in the world.
yes, everyone wants him to get the award, but I feel like they might give it to, you know, I see maybe De Bruyne or someone.
No, no chance.
Just because
No chance.
Man City, if they win the Champions League and the Premier League, if they win
If
the
Chelsea
triple,
win
you
the
know?
Champions League, give it to Thomas. Give it to Tuchel. First manager
First
ever to win
manager.
the Ballon d'Or.
All he has to do is play 1 minute and
Yeah.
then he's like qualified.
Yes.
Yeah.
Player manager subs himself in for the last minute, wins the Ballon d'Or. But yeah, I mean, if it would be robbery again if he didn't.
But
get
yeah,
it.
like you
If-
said,
if
who
they
else?
make a run.
Who else?
You know, you have your typical candidates, Messi, Ronaldo, and
But Barca didn't
really know.
win anything. They won 1 domestic trophy.
and
Juventus
Juve
are outside of the
Juve
top 4.
won the domestic trophy as well. The what is it called?
But so did Bayern didn't win the
Nah, Dortmund won.
yeah.
Yeah.
But do they have one more?
No, but it doesn't matter. Bayern won the Bundesliga.
Yeah, they won the league but yeah, I feel like if they were maybe in the semifinals for the Champions League,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been closer, but
I mean, he just deserves it so much.
Yeah, he
That's
does.
The thing. He just deserves it.
but
so
based on
much.
like qualifications, based on other years, you see this season you're like, "Oh, all he did was win the league and then break a goal scoring record."
yeah.
While other times it's been Champions League, World Cup, all that.
Yeah.
So
It's just context. That's the only
Yeah.
reason. But the one thing I also had to ask you is Jan Gregus on the Slovakian national team? So
Yes.
he'll be performing in the Euros.
so is Robin Lod,
Finland.
yeah,
Yes.
and
so
Ratilia or whatever.
who?
Right.
Oh,
the
Raitala.
defender. Yeah,
the
Raitala.
center back that
Yeah.
we just signed. This is Minnesota United players, by the way. So yeah, we'll see him.
We don't know random Finnish or Slovakian players, just random.
Just random MLS players. But yeah, that'll be nice to see.
Yeah.
All 3 of them. Do you think they're gonna do well?
Well, Slovakia's in that group, so I don't see them going through. Finland.
Jan Gregus to get player of the tournament. What
Yeah.
are the odds?
Well, he scores from anywhere, so
If he takes a shot, it is going towards the goal.
it's not going backwards. I don't know if it's going in the goal, but
But he takes the shot.
he will take the shot for you if you need that. But yeah. Anyway, we'll get to more of the Euro stuff later. But also, Dortmund did make it in the top 4 Champions League. I believe. Hold on.
Wait, this is something we should definitely.
Well, they
know.
won. I know they won today.
Well, no. Well, what do you mean?
They won their game.
For Bundesliga. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Oh,
Third.
third. Wow.
Okay.
Who got relegated? Oh, well, it's gone now.
Oh, I know Werder Bremen and Schalke.
Oh yeah. No, I'm so mad. like Americans all
Yeah.
over the place getting relegated out of the European.
Matthew Hoppe.
Yeah, Matthew Hoppe and Josh Sargent.
Yeah.
Two of the best.
Two
I mean,
strikers.
I don't know if you can say they're up and coming because, like.
Sargent's been around.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like Sargent's not really up.
He's still young though.
But Matthew Hoppe's up and coming. And then another one that brought tears to my eyes was Swansea. Didn't they win?
They won.
Yeah, they won the first one 1-0. And what's the score? I saw the second one.
They
when
won
it
the
was 1-0.
second one, or it was tied 1-1. So Swansea won 2-1 on.
So Daryl DK is now going to be in the championship again. Well, wait.
If they
will he go
re-sign,
back to Orlando?
He'll go back because it was a loan. But
Will they
might
re-sign
They
him?
might re-sign him.
So like my question is, so there was an MLS player. I don't remember his name. He quoted or something like after a game, right, in a press conference, and he was like, "If people still think that the MLS isn't as good as the
Bedoya.
yeah, he's like, if people still
saw
don't think
that.
that the MLS is as good as the championship, like they don't know what they're talking about." And I was just thinking to myself, I really strongly believe that Brentford would destroy people in the MLS.
I think any
Swansea,
championship team.
Bournemouth, at Barnsley, you take anyone, they're gonna do well.
I think any championship team would make the playoffs at least in the MLS.
There's no way that Daryl wants to go back to Orlando.
No,
there's no
that's
chance.
such a step backwards.
Especially if they're like next year, they could definitely perform well and then get to go to the Premier League. And like, there's no argument here that the MLS is better than the Premier League. There's no one can even argue that.
Yeah. But I was very surprised that he said that
What,
too.
what team does he play for?
Philadelphia.
So he played. Did he play in England?
He might have.
What was his name again?
He's pretty old. He's been on the national team a lot.
What was his name
Bedoya.
again? Like
With a Y.
Bedoya, soccer player. Alejandro Bedoya?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a player for Philadelphia Union. He played, so he's not, okay, so I remember the quote. He was like, if people still think that the MLS is worse than Ligue 1 and the championship, then they don't know what they're talking about. Man did play in Ligue 1. He played for Nantes, and he played for Rangers, and he played in the Allsvenskan in the Swedish First Division. So like good.
So like still.
Like that's levels,
Yeah.
But I mean, what do you think? I bet the Allsvenskan's a bit better than the championship. I bet the best. Like, I bet there's more difference in depth, like the worst team might be worse, but the best team is definitely going to be better.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
if you take, like, AIK and you put them in the championship, they're going to do really, really well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I think it's still below the championship.
The Allsvenskan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think about Ligue 1?
I think it's still above championship.
Yeah,
in terms of
it's
level.
the top 5.
Yeah, in terms of
level.
level.
But, like, if you take, like, a bottom team in Ligue 1, do you think they'll get promoted?
I don't think they'll get relegated. I think
Yeah.
mid-table at least, probably. Just because they have more money,
Yeah.
They'll just bring in better players. But, and then wrapping up the Bundesliga, which finished, right?
Yeah, the
As
Bundesliga
well.
finished.
Um,
Bayern won a while ago anyway.
Yeah, so we talked about Dortmund did make the Champions League spot, and
Yeah.
Haaland, who might be on his way out, had a funny moment once again. He traded his shirt with the referee of the game, so he was wearing the ref's shirt around after the game because the ref refed his last game in his career. So
Yeah,
that
I know.
was pretty funny.
I was talking to you about this before the podcast started, but if a ref actually did that and it wasn't their last game, they would have an enormous suspension.
They would get fired. Well, it would be their last game.
It would, no matter what, be their last game because, I mean, that would obviously show bias towards players, and you're not supposed to do that as a ref. But honestly, when it's your last game, you're like done with refereeing now completely. Just why not? Go
I
for
would
it.
get every player.
Go for it. Just go around
sell
the
them
locker
out,
room and grab everyone's shirt.
or just sign it maybe too.
Yeah, no. Well, do you think that's weird? I've always wondered. Do you think that's weird to, because a ref obviously has status compared to just someone who is on the street, right? So the ref is like, that's respect that they have between each other. You're reffing my game. Would it be weird if the ref was like, "Hey, yo, can you sign it as well?"
No, I feel like there's definitely been games, or I've definitely heard of like refs like having their last game and players giving them jerseys or stuff just because especially if the player has played in that league for a while and the ref, they have more of a relationship.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the refs definitely, even over one season, like, kind of grow a relationship or respect with the players, and like they go like first name basis and stuff.
It's not like youth soccer or anything, that we're used to, where it's like, you have a different ref every game, and the chances of you having the same ref twice in a season are actually quite low because there's so many refs. Even you have the same, like, guys who play in the Premier League will have the same refs for the Euros. Probably some of them, they take the best refs from around Europe, obviously. But, so you kind of know who they are, and you can probably develop a relationship. And, the ref can then know if you're a bit of a feisty player or something. And I think you can tell also, when they have close-ups and you can watch how they interact on the field when, everyone's angry. The refs handle it well, and I think that's because they know the players.
Yeah. Yeah, and like when I've seen clips of them mic'd up, and it's always like first name, or it's like, come on guys, like, it's very casual, I feel.
Well, I mean, even the clip with Messi where the ref is like, come on Leo, he calls him Leo, he's like, come on Leo, you got to do better than that, you do it every time. And I think that's because he was like falling or something. Just like even having the bravery to like walk up to Messi, like, come on Leo, you like, stop doing that. You're not selling it to anyone. I mean, that's kind of sick, but I think it's cool that they developed that relationship between each other. Also, someone who probably has developed a relationship with millions of kids around the United Kingdom over the past, I don't know, year and a half is Marcus Rashford, who was on the Sunday Times giving list. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Or on Sunday.
The Sunday Times, like the company, their giving list, which is like most donations of rich people in the world for charity and stuff like that. And he was named as the youngest ever to be on that list. He's 23 years old, which, we've always gotten that age wrong. We always think
28-year-old Marcus Rashford.
We always think he's older than he is, but it said $28 million worth of donations to charity.
That's a lot of bags. That's a lot of money
for a 23-year-old as well. So I think
that's like what 1.08 million a year.
Oh, for what? For
like
his whole life?
If he were to give like a little over $1 million every year,
that's a lot.
Like, when you think of it, a lot of money.
When you think of it that
way, a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, and like, I mean, props to him. He's a legend. Like
he's like the only.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's the only guy who's doing a lot for like the community around England and stuff. Like out of all or anywhere really in Europe, you don't really hear any other player that's like, oh, he's once again doing this for charity or for the poor or whatever. And then also Nuno Santos for Wolves has announced that he will not be returning.
He's Portuguese, right?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen to the Portuguese turnover over at Wolves?
So the Portuguese national team, second team, watch them just all leave.
No, watch him become the manager of the Portuguese national team.
See, so I put down maybe the open Spurs job for him, or like you said, maybe the Portuguese national team.
That would be.
But
it's fit so well.
But their manager has won the Euros for them and made it decently far.
You know his name?
For the Portuguese.
Yeah.
I don't. But.
Well, I mean, it's basically just Ronaldo. If you guys watched the 2016 Euros, in the final, that guy was coaching up a storm.
But yeah, I was surprised by this, though, because they had a difficult season because...
same last name. Oh. It's Fernando Santos.
Yeah.
They're brothers. Yeah. Not actually.
But, like, Wolves, he brought them into the Premier League, got them into Europa League first season, and then the next couple seasons, it was not as good, I feel like, based on that first season, but still very good for a newly promoted side.
And this year, I mean, it's hard to gauge whether it's because of him or his best player literally probably going to be retiring from football.
Well, no, he's back now.
He play a game.
He's back in training.
Yeah, okay, they say that. I think there's a good chance he's gonna retire from football, which is actually so sad in my opinion. Did you hear about the kid, Nick Tague, the young U.S. kid? He played at Schalke. He didn't get very much time. He's good friends with Matthew Hoppe, but he's also from the U.S. and he just retired from football at age 19.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Because he got a serious back injury about 8 months ago and never recovered properly. So I think now he's going to be working, like, mentoring young kids to help them, on the mental side of things as they go through football, which is good. But it's always sad to see, someone who's, could be one of the United States' best players eventually if he keeps working hard, and that dream to be crushed by injury. But it's what happens sometimes. Yeah. It is unfortunate, but it is what happens.
Yeah, I was just surprised that he was leaving this soon. I feel like they should have kept him maybe one more year to see if Jimenez came back and see what happens, but I guess not. And I'll be interested to see because he's a very good coach.
Yeah, I don't know who they're going to sign.
Yeah, and I don't know who they're going to replace that. Obviously, probably a Portuguese manager.
If they get another Portuguese manager,
they have to.
Their team is
the language.
Portuguese.
Yeah, the language gap. I feel like it's gonna be crazy if they don't have a.
Well, he can speak English.
Yeah.
But
how many of those new Portuguese players speak like?
Yeah, I was talking about Nuno, and Nuno's now irrelevant.
Yeah.
Wolves.
Yeah. And then finally in England Championship playoffs, as we talked about before, the semifinals finished up. Brentford versus Swansea will be the final at Wembley. I think Brentford are just gonna blow them out.
Brentford deserve to go up. You can leave it at that. Like there's no Swansea. I don't think deserve to go up as much as Brentford. Obviously, they're both great teams, but we'll have to see what happens.
I was watching the Swansea Barnsley game, and then I watched the first leg of the Brentford game, and the difference in quality between Brentford and then either Swansea or Barnsley, I was like, okay, whoever wins is still gonna lose to Brentford, which
Brentford's good, bro.
Yeah,
and didn't what's his name? This is Tony Adams? No,
Ivan Toney.
Yeah. Why did I say
Tony Adams?
Who's Tony
Who
Adams?
is that?
Sounds like a golfer.
Yeah.
Ivan Toney, yeah, he scored also, which is not surprising. But
he has almost as many goals as Lewandowski.
50,000 goals this year. But yeah, I mean, I hope that Brentford get into the Premier League, and I would really look forward to seeing what's their mascot. Like, isn't it a bee? Mm-hmm. The Brentford Bees.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hornets. It doesn't.
Hornets
match.
is Watford.
Yeah, it's the Brentford Bees.
I think it is the bee. I think it is. Hold on.
A terrible mascot, dude. You don't sound very fierce. It's kind of like the Brighton and Hove Albion Seagulls. Like, you don't sound fierce. What are they? The Brent... I mean, they come up. Yeah, they're the Bees. No, they're known as the Bees, like bee students.
They're first known as the Bees, students at Borough Road College and friends of the Brentford striker. Okay.
Well, no, they were first known as the Bees, like the capital B and then a lowercase s. And then
they
it
were
switched.
A college team, and then once they became an actual organization, it kind of stuck, and then they turned into the Bees.
So, like, did everyone have to get, like, Bs consistently to be on the college team?
Yeah. They could not do better than a B.
They were not allowed A's or C's, just you must get Bs to be on the Brentford Bees. But yeah, it's a terrible, like, I mean, talk about, like, having a fierce mascot.
You are a seagull.
That's what I said. It's like the Brighton Hove Albion Seagulls.
Saints isn't very much better. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but it sounds, like you're a saint.
Yeah,
you got the power.
That's true.
The seagulls and the bees don't have power. That's just like, they're animals.
Everton's the Toffees.
Yeah, it's
like,
just but that's just like English.
You're like a sweet. You're a treat.
The Everton fans are sweets. Yeah. Just to round it off, though, like we said before, we're doing a little Euro. I don't know what would you actually call it? Would you call it a draft?
We're drafting teams for a little competition.
Competition
for money,
or maybe not for money. It's all up in the air. You don't know if it's for money or not.
Whatever.
So producer Sutton wants to know where his $20 went.
Yeah.
But But yeah, it'll be it's a fun competition. You can do it with your friends too if you want. It's basically we divided the.
You have to give us the money though.
You must give us the money. No, it's divided into like 3 tiers of teams at the Euros. You know, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. There's 7 of us doing the competition. 7 teams in each tier. We all randomly select 1 team from each tier, and then just a win is 3 points and a draw is 1 point, kind of like normal, you know, table standings. And it's just whoever gets the most points by the end, whoever's teams gets the most points based on games, and by the end wins the whole competition. So yeah, that should be fun. And I'm really looking forward to the Euros.
Yes.
And I don't really know who I'm gonna root for the most, but the one team that I think I'm gonna be most watching out for, just because of one player, and I want to see how he performs, you know, in national competition, will be France with Karim Benzema.
Yes.
As he has just been recalled to the France national team after 5 years or so. If you guys don't know, 5 years ago, he got like in trouble with the France Federation. You know, like I don't really know what happened, but
There's like a scandal.
yeah,
or
it's
something.
just
or like
scandal and
blackmailing.
stuff. Yeah,
I think.
yeah, weird stuff that happened, and he got really in trouble with the French Federation,
So
and
he's
was
kind of like banned.
dropped from the team by Deschamps for like 5 years, like consecutive. I don't know, like that's a long time.
I mean, he cheated him out of a World Cup.
Yeah.
And I saw like Deschamps said he called Benzema and they had a conversation. It's all good now. If I was Benzema,
Like I am not all good now.
like I'm at like towards the end of my career probably, and you've like starved me of like a World Cup, the second in France's history. Like, why would I come back?
Well, I mean, I would want to come back just to get that Euro trophy. They have such a good chance.
They'll win. They will win.
Do you think so?
Yeah. I had France, so we did the same thing for the World Cup a couple of years ago.
No, I had France because I want.
I wanted France.
Yeah, you wanted France. I had
Belgium.
France.
Yeah.
I wanted. You had Belgium. Did you?
I think so.
We both got the teams that we didn't want.
Yeah, I had Croatia actually, so
Yeah.
I was very lucky because people did not think they would go far.
Yeah,
so.
you were actually because they were like a second tier team,
Yeah.
you know. So that was really, really good from you. Didn't we do it that year? Because it was 4 years, or it was 3 years ago. Didn't we do it that year, based on groups?
No, it was the same thing.
Was it tiers?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this week's podcast. I think it was a good length, maybe. I don't know. You guys can probably tell without me saying it to you guys.
Yeah, you don't have to guess.
I don't really actually know the length, and you
Yeah.
guys probably do. But yeah, that wraps up this week's. And
30 minutes, he says.
33.
33.
Well, now both of us know that it's 33
I feel like we
minutes.
end.
It's
just right on the money.
prompt. It is
I
prompt.
feel like every episode's 34 minutes.
So here's the thing. It's either a 33-minute episode or it's a 47-minute episode. Always. I've never had.
We haven't had the 40s in a while, I think.
Yeah, it's been. Here's the thing. It will have more 40 minutes in the summer because the best to talk about is transfers. It's so fun to talk about transfers. But other than that, you know, like right now, there's maybe the most going on for like a spectator view. But it's like yeah, this is just happening. You know,
Yeah,
it's not like there's much debate about it. Like, yes, Atletico won the title.
Yeah.
The one thing maybe we should have touched on a bit more, but a lot of you guys won't really listen until it's over. And also, you know, I think everyone's pretty in the loop on how that's going. The title race for the Premier League is on right now. Final day is tomorrow. And yeah,
The Champions
it's
League
it's not title race. It's the Champions League race. The hat has won. The Man City hat has won the league. But yeah, that'll be happening tomorrow. So interested to see whether Liverpool, Chelsea, West Ham, Leicester get that Champions League spot. So yeah, tune in. They're all happening at the same time at 4. No,
It's like 10
because
a.m.
it's 4 minus 6 or 7.
Yes.
Something. Yeah, like 10 o'clock. So yeah, we'll be watching that, and we'll be back next week for another pod. All right, peace.